Have you ever felt like your life is standing still? Like everything around you is moving, but you're stuck in the same place, waiting, hoping, praying for something, anything to change? It's a strange kind of silence. Not the peaceful kind. It's the silence that feels heavy. The kind that makes you wonder if your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling. The kind that makes you question if you've been forgotten. But what if that silence isn't empty? What if it's the space where God is preparing something powerful for you? See, most people give up right before their breakthrough. They quit when nothing seems to be happening, not knowing that in the invisible, everything is being arranged. That's why you need to listen closely. Because if you can hold on through this moment, if you can survive the quiet, the shift that's coming will be bigger than anything you imagined. You weren't meant to stay in this season forever. You weren't born just to get by, to carry the weight of life and wonder if it'll ever get lighter. No, something is being built inside of you. And if you stay with me through this message, you'll understand exactly why your current season feels so hard and why that's not a punishment. It's preparation. Let me tell you something about how life really works. Most people only see results. They see the breakthrough, the success, the victory, but they don't see the stillness that comes before it. The silent battles, the unseen work, the lonely nights. That silence, it's not because God forgot you. It's because he's forming something in you that noise can't help with. He's working where your eyes can't see. Psychologically, we're wired to respond to progress. Our brains love results. That's why waiting is so painful, because we can't see what's happening behind the scenes. But faith means trusting in silence. Faith means holding on when your feelings want to let go. Faith means believing the shift is coming even when the world screams otherwise. And here's the truth. Silence often shows up just before the shift. It's the pause before the promise, the tension before the turn. You think nothing's happening, but the reality is everything is happening, just not in your timeline. God isn't in a rush. He's in control, and he won't release what's next until you're ready to carry it. That's what makes this so hard. Because growth doesn't always feel like growth. Sometimes it feels like confusion. Sometimes it feels like pain, like isolation, like being overlooked. But none of those feelings are evidence that you've been forgotten. They are the signs that something greater is being built beneath the surface. And when that shift comes, it's going to feel sudden, but it's not. It's been forming all along. If you can just breathe in this moment, if you could just remind yourself that silence is not absence, you'll find strength you didn't know you had. Ho, 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 ho. You'll find that you are being molded, shaped, and strengthened for what's ahead, because you're not waiting for nothing. You're waiting for purpose. You're waiting for destiny. And destiny never shows up early. It arrives right on time. Don't rush what God is doing in this silence. Don't force your way out of the waiting room. There is beauty in this moment, even if it's hard to see. And if you stay through this message, you'll walk away with clarity, power, and a deep understanding that the silence you're experiencing is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of the shift. So hold on. Hold on a little longer. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're prepared. The silence isn't forever. Something is coming. Something is moving. And the shift will not only change your situation, it will change you. Stay with me. Because once you see it, you'll never look at this season the same way again. It's easy to confuse delay with denial. Oh, when life doesn't move the way you expected, your mind starts creating stories. It whispers lies like, oh, not good enough. You're forgotten. It's never going to happen. That voice gets louder the longer you wait. And without realizing it, you start agreeing with it. You start shrinking your dreams. You stop praying with fire. You stop believing that something good can still happen for you. This is where most people lose the battle. Not in the situation, but in their mind. The delay creates doubt, and doubt is heavy. It clouds your vision. It makes you forget who you are and whose you are. You begin to think that God said no, when really, he just said not yet. There's a difference. No means closed forever. Not yet means something greater is being prepared. Psychologically, the brain seeks certainty. It's wired to look for patterns, for evidence, for signs of progress. So when things feel stuck, the brain sounds the alarm. But this is where faith outshines logic. Faith says, I don't need to see it to believe it. I trust the one who holds it. You're not being denied. You're being refined. Every time you feel overlooked, you're being positioned. Every time a door closes, it's not rejection, it's redirection. You're being pulled back like an arrow, not to stay back, but to launch forward with more force, more clarity, more purpose. You may not see it now, but this delay is divine. What feels like a setback is often a setup. And the shift that's coming will make sense of every moment you cried, every time you questioned, every time you almost gave up. Don't let your mind turn a delay into a dead end. It's not over, it's just beginning. Hold on to your vision. It's not denied, it's being designed. There's a reason the process feels hidden. Growth doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like nothing's changing. But inside, something is breaking loose. God doesn't waste time. If you're still waiting, it means he's still working. And while you're wondering when your life will change, he's changing you first. Because he knows if you step into your next season unprepared, the weight of the blessing will crush you. That's why this part matters. Every storm you've walked through, every tear you've cried, every battle you've faced in the dark was preparation. Not punishment, preparation. You are being built in private for something that will be revealed in public. But the shift doesn't start outside. It starts inside, in your heart, in your thoughts, in your beliefs about yourself and about what's possible. Psychologically, humans resist discomfort. We want ease. We crave control. But transformation lives in discomfort. When things don't make sense, when you're being stretched, that's when your capacity is expanding. That's when your faith is growing. You don't get strength from success, you get it from struggle. And that's why this hidden preparation is sacred. It's making you stronger than you realize. You're being trained to carry more, to trust deeper, to stand taller. Because what's coming isn't small, it's significant. But you can't take shortcuts to significance. There's no fast track to favor. You've got to be forged in fire. And right now, in ways you may not even recognize, God is refining you for the shift ahead. Don't fight the preparation. Embrace it. Because when the shift comes, it's going to feel sudden to everyone else. But you'll know it didn't just show up. It was built in the silence, built through the tears, built through the waiting. And now you're almost ready to step into what was always yours. Life has a way of changing in an instant. One moment you're standing in a valley feeling forgotten, and the next, everything shifts. That's how God moves. Suddenly, unexpectedly. He doesn't always give warnings. He doesn't always show the signs. Because the shift is not about your timing. It's about his perfect plan, and when it's time, nothing can stop it. What looks like a slow season is often the setup for a sudden breakthrough. You've been faithful in the small things. You've kept walking when it didn't make sense. And that obedience is not wasted. It's been recorded, stored, multiplied, and now the moment is being arranged when it all aligns. You won't see it coming, but you'll feel it. That deep, unmistakable shift that says, this is it. From human nature searches for patterns. We want to predict what's coming so we can prepare. But God doesn't move according to human logic. He moves in ways that defy the rules. That's why the greatest shifts often arrive after your greatest disappointment. When you're emptied of your own plan, that's when he can finally release his. There's a reason the pressure has been building, a reason it's felt harder lately. It's not a sign to give up, it's a sign that the atmosphere is changing. Before a storm breaks, the air gets still. That's where you are. In the stillness before the rain. In the pause before the promise. Don't be surprised when the door swings open. Don't hesitate when the opportunity comes. You've been prepared for this. It won't look like what you expected, but it will be exactly what you need. God doesn't tease with hope. He delivers, and when that sudden shift happens, it won't just change your circumstances. It'll confirm everything you believed in the dark. The weight will make sense. The pain will have purpose, and your life will never look the same again. When things begin to shift, it won't always make sense. That's why trust becomes more important than understanding. Your mind will want proof. It will demand explanation, but faith doesn't work like that. Faith grows strongest in uncertainty. It thrives when you choose to believe without seeing. And right now, even if everything feels unclear, you are being invited to trust what you can't yet see. It's human nature to want control. We crave certainty. We want guarantees before we move, but God doesn't show you the whole picture, because if he did, it would overwhelm you. You'd see the mountain and feel too small. You'd see the path and doubt your steps. So instead, he shows you the next step, not the whole staircase. Because faith is built one step at a time. This is why the shift is uncomfortable. Because you're walking into something unfamiliar. You're being stretched beyond your comfort zone, and your mind may fight it. But that tension isn't the sign of something going wrong. It's a sign that growth is happening. You're not being tested to break. You're being tested to psychologically, when people lose sight of the outcome, they start to lose motivation. But the truth is, this is where breakthroughs are born, in the unseen, in the parts where you have nothing but belief. You don't need to see the finish line to keep walking. You don't need a guarantee to keep believing. You just need to know who's leading you. So let go of needing all the answers. Let go of trying to figure out the how. Focus on the fact that if God brought you this far, He's not about to leave you now. He's still leading, still guiding, still writing your story, even if you can't read the next page. Your only job is to keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep showing up with faith in your heart, because what's ahead is not based on what you see, it's based on what you believe. Timing can feel like the most painful part of the process. You want it now. You've waited long enough. You've cried, prayed, worked, and still nothing. But just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not happening. Delay does not equal denial. Every promise has a schedule. Every breakthrough has a time attached to it. And just because it's not on your clock doesn't mean it's off course. Seeds don't grow overnight. They're planted, buried, hidden in the dark. But deep beneath the surface, they're developing roots. And when the time is right, not when you want, but when it's ready, they break through. That's where you are, underground, unseen, but growing, preparing, becoming. And when your moment comes, it won't be small. It will be powerful. It will be clear. And it will be right on time. Our minds are impatient by design. Psychology tells us we're wired to avoid waiting, but some of the best things in life require it. You can't rush purpose. You can't shortcut destiny. You have to live through the preparation so you can carry the promise. If you received it too soon, you'd mishandle it. You'd doubt it. You wouldn't be ready to sustain it. There is a reason for every closed door, a reason for every long night. Nothing is wasted. It's all part of divine timing. What looks like a delay is often protection. You don't see what's being moved around for your good. You don't know what God is orchestrating behind the scenes. But when it all comes together, you'll realize it had to happen this way. So stop watching the clock and start trusting the process. Your life is not on pause. It's being positioned. Every second is being used. Every moment is leading somewhere. And when it arrives, it will come with peace, clarity, and favor. It will come with confirmation that the wait was never wasted. It was preparing you for the right thing, at the right time, in the right way. You may not feel it yet, but you're closer than you think. Closer to the open door, closer to the breakthrough, closer to the moment when everything shifts, and the enemy knows it. That's why the pressure feels heavier. That's why the doubts are louder, because just before something breaks open, resistance rises. But pressure doesn't mean you're off track. It means you're almost there. This is the final stretch, the part where most people give up. Not because they're weak, but because they can't see how close they are. That's the trick of the mind. It magnifies the wait and hides the progress. But you haven't come this far to quit now. You haven't survived everything you've been through just to walk away before the promise shows up. This moment isn't meant to break you. It's meant to birth something in you. Your strength was never in the ease of the journey. It's been in your ability to keep moving, to keep believing, even when the answers didn't come. That's not weakness, that's faith, that's power. And it's the reason you're still standing. You've already proven that you have what it takes. Now it's time to keep walking with your head high and your heart open, because the finish line is closer than it appears. You've grown in ways you don't even realize. The version of you that started this journey isn't the same person now. You've gained wisdom, patience, grit, and that growth is exactly what will carry you through this final stretch. What you prayed for is not just coming, it's been chasing you. And the moment it arrives, everything will make sense. So don't let the silence fool you. Don't let the struggle shake you. The shift isn't somewhere in the distance. It's just ahead. Keep your eyes on the promise. Keep your soul anchored in faith. You are on the edge of something extraordinary. And soon, what once felt so far away will be standing right in front of you.